Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Wednesday, 21st May 2025. Aries. Is it possible you're too demanding? Today's planetary aspects may be asking this question. You're choosy about the people you spend time with and you have a tendency to ask them to go far for you. Sometimes you have trouble knowing your limits where others are concerned. You might want to think about this a bit more deeply. Taurus. Today is a day to daydream, although this may not be an activity you usually do. You may even feel as if you're on vacation. Let's just hope people don't ask you a lot of difficult questions because your answers will be anything but clear. But you shouldn't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders every day. Remember, this is your life. Gemini, if you have someone special in your life, today is a perfect day to stop playing at being your partner's parent, as you sometimes seem to do. Reverse roles and let other people take care of you. The world won't fall apart if you let go for a while. No matter what happens, a day like today should open your eyes. Cancer, you won't be able to fix your indecisiveness. You just need to give yourself some time. The direction your life is taking isn't clear at the moment. There are great changes going on inside you, so even though it may sound like strange advice, don't do a thing about it. Let the situation get clear before you can act. Leo, you have a strange and wonderful day ahead. Once you finish your work, you may want to either draw or write something that will help you remember the day for a long time. You're beginning to see the results of recent changes in you and you're looking for a way to express them. It may be difficult to find just the right words, but aren't you a natural born writer? Virgo, you have a nice day in store. People may seem more attractive to your needs and generally pleasant. You may not be used to this kind of treatment. You feel more outgoing and sociable than ever. You could take advantage of the day's tolerant atmosphere to meet people you may have been too afraid to introduce yourself to. They will surely have some new things to teach you. Libra, today is a day for healing and reconciliation. You may have been feeling abused and mistreated lately by someone or a few people in your family over the past few weeks. You're now ready for a new start because you were able to work things out and you've learned something from what happened. Take the time to savor the moment and spend some time with the people you love. Scorpio, you may feel living your life is like crossing a desert, but fortunately today brings your oasis. Take advantage of it. Some people you've met over the past few weeks could turn out to be more interesting than you originally thought. It's up to you to change those parts of your personality that have been holding you back. Sagittarius, certain questions about your family life aren't as cut and dried as you think it might be. This can be the case when emotions are involved. Yet, more than anyone else, you need to be careful not to hurt anyone's feelings. Today, something could happen that will let you control the situation while controlling your emotions. Capricorn, you may have had some confused emotions about your relationship or family over the past few days. You may not have been able to fully express your worries to others. Today, these emotions will find a way to come out. Look around you. There might be someone right next to you who could help with your problems. Aquarius, if every day were like today, life would be heaven. This is a potentially wonderful time for you. You may find the answers to problems that have been bothering you for a few weeks. Keep your eyes and ears open in all conversations. You could come across the peace that you've been waiting for. Pisces, you don't have to be at everyone's beck and call all the time. This is exhausting and you lose contact with yourself. You should try to take some time out today. Take a good look at your life to see where you are going. Go for a walk or take a long bubble bath. Things will be much clearer after a relaxing day of reflection. This has been your daily morning horoscope for Wednesday, 21st May 2025. Do have yourself a great, blessed, and wonderful day.
Guys, it's Wednesday, hump day, the middle of the week, kind of day. It's a beautiful day, though. I'm enjoying it. I'm indulging in all of it. Let's see what our news department has for us, like we normally do, and we'll be back.
Good morning. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has announced major improvements to the country's national security infrastructure, including the reopening of custody suites, new protective gear for police officers, and the delivery of a dedicated prison escort vehicle.
That order went out this morning, and hopefully every member of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force should have access to a bulletproof vest and a special belt, etc. for the armor, as requested by the Commissioner of Police.
Speaking at Monday's pre-cabinet press briefing, the Prime Minister and the National Security Minister confirmed that the island's custody suites previously out of operation will reopen this Friday. Their absence had created serious challenges for police officers who lacked a proper holding facility for detainees. The St. Lucia Fire Service has responded to two separate gun-related emergencies within the span of less than 24 hours, both resulting in serious injuries to adult males. The most recent incident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday, May 20th at approximately 2:50 a.m. Emergency personnel were dispatched to Marigo following reports of an alleged gunshot wound.
On arrival at the scene, an adult male was found lying on the ground. An assessment revealed multiple penetrating wounds about the body. He was treated, then transported to a medical facility for advanced medical care.
Just hours earlier on Monday, May 19th at around 10:40 p.m., the SLFS was called to another shooting, this time in Asu Canal, Grand Riviere. There is no word yet on whether the incidents are connected, and investigations are ongoing into both. A late-night shooting in Asu Canal, Grand Riviere, meanwhile, has left one man dead and another injured. The incident has sparked outrage among residents who are criticizing what they say was a delayed and poorly handled emergency response.
I just feel like the ambulance need to do a bit better. They took way longer than they supposed to. If they came on time, the guy would have probably have time survive, but they didn't. And we don't have any light on the road as well. So it's impossible for us to see. I know police officers wanted answers, but it's impossible for us to give us the answer if we cannot see what's going on. There's no light on the road. So there's not much I can really say. It's a bit disappointing that everybody had to see that happen right there on the road.
Meanwhile, anyone with information regarding this incident can call the Grosselet Police Station at 456-3830. Anonymous tips can also be given by dialing 555 for the crime hotline or by using the RSLPF's crime hotline app. As St. Lucia joins the global observance of World Bee Day, local beekeepers are warning that climate change, unchecked honey imports and lack of support are threatening the future of the island's honey industry and, by extension, national food security.
From July of last year into February of this year, North America has reported at least losses. Commercial beekeepers have reported losses of at least 60 to 80% of their colonies. I would like to take this opportunity on World Bee Day to ask consumers to bear with us, local beekeepers. Sometimes I know that supply is very tight, and you may not be able to get honey as you wished.
The Ianola Apiculture Collective used the occasion to call for urgent policy action and public support to protect pollinators and preserve local livelihoods. And that's your news summary. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
We need to take a short break and we'll be back. Young lady, and she's here in St. Lucia. She is a nurse, a coach, and also a spiritual leader. And she's combined all of these great attributes to help women in particular to live a more fulfilling, healthier life. And she's got a seminar, or a retreat rather, that is coming up on this Sunday. So let's find out some more about it. Sherene Yarde is a lecturer, a health and wellness life coach. She's also a spiritual leader. You know, all of these things intertwine, you know, to make the woman and the contribution that she continues to pour back into the society. Sherene, nice to meet you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, how did you get into that? You're a nurse first.
Yes.
Right, you see, I missed that part.
Yes.
So you started off as a nurse.
Yes.
And then along the journey, you get to realizing that, you know, you need to really spread this thing a little further to help people to be more in tune with their health and their fitness and their life. So let's talk about the journey.
So I started off as a registered nurse, and my passion became education. So I got into the master's in nurse education.
Okay.
Yes, and from there, this is where I decided to branch off into educating the public more. You know, yes, I love educating my student nurses, but I think the public need a little more education, because sometimes we as nurses are too overwhelmed, so we don't have enough time to educate our clients. So I wanted to focus or to zoom into that area. So this is where Destine came in for education. Destine Wellness. Yeah.
Why though? Why the educating of the masses? How important is that? From a nurse's standpoint, there must have been something that triggered, hey, we need to educate the public. What triggered that?
I think when you're in the system and you realize, persons come into the healthcare system for things that can be taken care of in the primary system, the healthcare system, then you realize they have lack of knowledge.
Right.
So there are things that you can educate them on, and they don't need to come into the hospital for those things, right? So I realized there was a need for education to the public itself. There was a lack. So I decided, let me zoom in on that area, because people need to know if they take care of themselves, even, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, all of these things, then you don't even need to overwhelm the healthcare system so much.
And is that a problem? Because you're Trinidadian. Is that a problem we tend to realize throughout the region?
Yep, very much so. Yeah, I think our lifestyle plays an important role. We as Caribbean people, we like a lot of starch. So, we can't see our plate without the macaroni, pie, and the rice, and the provision.
Right.
So, all of these things lead to unhealthy lifestyle, and then we don't take care of ourselves. So, we end up into the healthcare system.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's bombarded, it's overwhelming, and then you have to hear that the healthcare system is this, is that, but a lot of the times, a lot of the combustion could be avoided. Now, let's talk about Dynasty. Is it Dynasty? Destin Live, and what it is you do under that banner, because you also have an event that's coming up as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about what it is you hope to accomplish under that banner.
Okay, so Destin Life is for events. So events, purposeful lifestyle events, right? And this Sunday, we will have celebrating moms pouring into your cup. Right? So we will be celebrating moms, pregnant moms, breastfeeding moms, seasoned moms, people who want to be mothers. So basically all women, right? So we're going to take care of you, pour in information into you. We're going to be having our breast lactation specialist for those who have breastfeeding issues. Then we're going to be having our birth educator. So if you are expecting, you can come, you get information, the support that you need for birthing. We're going to be having a nurse from the US. Her name is Nurse Rose, who is a wellness coach. She will be pouring into us by talking about reclaiming me, me after motherhood. And we will have Blue Lotus, who will be coming in to do back massages for us. We also have an esthetician from Complexion 758. She will be coming to tell us how to take care of our skin. So, we just be pouring into the mothers, we pouring in knowledge, and we pouring in also self-care.
Absolutely. Give us a little more insight. How can we access this? If we'd like to come, how can we access it?
So you can give me a call. You can even WhatsApp me 724-8199, or you can go on Destine.life Instagram or Facebook page, and you can register through that. It's at NSDC BZ from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, finally, why should women come on out?
Come and let's pour into you. Let's take care of you. We pour into others so much that we forget to pour into ourselves. So let's pour into you on Sunday.
Right. And learn as well. Yes. Wonderful. Yeah. Sherene, we're not going to keep you far, because I have a feeling we have a lot more to be covered under this banner. But certainly we look forward to, and we wish you all the best, and we wish you it's going to be attending all the best in this education and self-care session on Sunday as well. And thank you for creating this space for moms.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Wonderful. There's no doubt that St. Lucia's got a lot of amazing creatives. And, but just have some that a little more creative than some. Hollywood comes to mind. He's celebrating his 25th anniversary in the field of entertainment. How much do you know about the journey of Hollywood? Well, let's find out. So this gentleman is celebrating 25 years in the business. And he has a really rigorous campaign. I don't know if and it's not a campaign. It's like a life story, the journey documented from the time he started, the rise of Hollywood, from the time he started when he realized there was a passion there, and this is out now on social media. People can actually go and connect with it. But for the morning show, we wanted to, at least, find ourselves in the space to help to spread the story, the walk, the journey of how it is that you started all of this, how you became Hollywood.
I mean, like you rightfully said, it's 25 years. It's going to be a big celebration come June the 14th. I mean, I started at a very young age. Things wasn't too bright with, my family and our background. But like you said, I was always destined for greatness from the time I started. But at some point, I was kind of close to giving up on DJing, and that was after my son was born. I started working if at the time it was Super J. Yeah, I started working in Super J. So I did that because I wanted to make sure I could have provided and be responsible enough. And at the time DJing wasn't really paying, but then Marsha Sundays came along, and Marsha Sundays saved both me and my career as a DJ. And I think that's where I got the big bus, and we in the Mino Philip Park right now, but it's right next door. Persons started coming out from all parts of the country to be part of the vibes, experience the vibes, and promoters, radio owners, they came around and they saw my talents, and because of that platform, I started spreading my wings, on other platforms and more national platforms, the radio stations, big events for Maka Diamond, big up Lichi. Lichi was one of the first persons to bring me out to Guadeloupe. Well, my first outside gig was in Guadeloupe, thanks to Lichi, as I mentioned. And it just kept growing from there. We just kept building the brand from there. And while I was at Blazing, we decided to kind of rebrand, because there were so many upcoming DJs, so many young boys and girls that had a computer and they say, boy, they want to be a DJ as well. But I wanted to show persons that, my vibe or my style as a DJ is different. So, I had to switch it around and call myself Hollywood HP. All right. But I still have to give, big shout outs to, those who mentored me from the very start. Summit Sounds, Eddie, Metkai, Ezekiel, Rumpy, Quick, and the rest, big up. And yeah, as I mentioned, we just keep growing from there.
It's my understanding as a child, you used to go and sit around by Eddie and them, Summit Sound, even as a little young child. But you were not the regular child that go around the sound. Your sister, your mom said there was some, the way you were so intent and how you paid attention. They knew something was up from that age. Fast forward now to where we are. You're not just a DJ, Hollywood. You're a performer. Extraordinaire. It's one thing, like you said, anybody could pick up a laptop, and them days there, anybody could just select a few tunes. But the way that you have used that particular gifting, but you have found so much unique and creative ways to stay different. Was that something that you innately decided, mentally you wanted to do, or that's just something that comes naturally?
I would say both, a little bit of both, mentally and naturally. I remember a very long time ago when I just started DJing, I used to watch others DJ, like from all over the world, all right? And I used to find what makes them special. I used to actually study them. What makes this person, that person special? So, I questioned myself, what is it I can do for me to be special? And I remember I did an interview with Iowa once, and Iowa said, and it was funny enough, that interview was for a house party. A bunch of us, including Hyper D, we had back in the day at upper level. And Iowa said, all DJs out there, y'all could say what y'all want, but HB is the man that start using the mic a lot, and y'all was afraid to do it all the time. So that's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to be the DJ from St. Lucia to be using the microphone a lot, but then, like you said, in a unique way and my own style. So yeah, and I tell other DJs that all the time, not just DJs, but everybody, no matter what industry they're in, find yourself, find your uniqueness, find something people can say, boy, that outstands you. All right. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So when I go on a stage, I always make sure I just give my all full energy, full potential. So when I walk out on that stage, you have nothing to say but wow, he did it again.
Absolutely.
Or I left a memory. That kind of vibe.
You won't always get people to understand your uniqueness. How do you deal with critics? How do you deal? Because there's a lot of people in this industry. It's saturated, and you finding your niche. Somebody. And there might be people outside who don't connect with it, or maybe for their selfish reasons as well. How do you deal with adversaries? How do you deal with negativity?
Well, I believe there will always be criticism, but remember there is always constructive criticism as well. Sometimes what somebody say, which may come out harsh or in a negative way, might be a piece of advice. You just have to sit down and think about it. All right. But the other thing is, my ignore game is very strong. My ignore game is very, very, very strong. I don't know if you notice, I'm not one of those that go on social media and, whatever negativity that spreads or propaganda that spreads about me, I don't take it on. I either, like I said, I sit down, think about it because it could be constructive. And I even go back and I ask my teammates, especially my manager, I ask her, like, what do you think about what this person said, or that kind of vibe, because it could be some sort of constructive criticism, as I mentioned.
What's forward? What's going forward? Because you're a man now, look like you have a lot up your sleeve. What's going forward, and what would you like to see to other persons in terms of following their dream, sticking true to their journey, not giving up, and just believing in themselves?
Well, Maureen, the first part of your interview, first part of your introduction, you mentioned the marketing structure or the campaign that I have going on for my event coming up. I chose that strategy because I wanted to not just market myself or market this celebration. I also wanted to inspire others, because the hurdles, the struggles, the challenges, these things will always be there. All right. And I wanted to send a message to a lot of young people out there, a lot of the youths, going through the struggles right now. They could realize that there is always a chance for you and your future. No matter how bad it is, there is always a chance for you. All you have to do is just remain focused and just keep dreaming and tell yourself you are destined for greatness.
Welcome to your Holistic Path to Wellness with Dr. Tanya Bobran. Let's talk stress management and reclaiming your power. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Tanya Bobran, and today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us: stress. Let's be honest, we're all carrying a lot: work, family, expectations, world events. And very often it shows up as exhaustion, anxiety, poor sleep, weight gain, and even chronic illness. It's not just in your head. It's our nervous systems calling for help. In my More Joy method, I teach something that you could work with, and that you work not against your body, you work with your body. So how do we manage stress in a healthy way, in a new and different way? I'm going to give you 3 simple tools that you can start today to manage stress. And one of them is breath work. Breathe to reset your nervous system. Start your days, or whenever you're stressed, with 60 seconds of deep, slow breathing. That tells your nervous system that you're safe. And that simple technique alone can change your entire day because it resets your nervous system. Another tool to manage stress is how you nourish your body. Skipping meals or reaching for sugar-laden foods like pastries or cake will spike your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. Balancing your blood sugar is one of the most powerful ways to reduce stress and how your body responds to it. And finally, I'm going to urge you to reclaim your rhythm. Stress loves chaos, and your body loves rhythm. Wake, eat, move, and rest at consistent times. That simple way of living will ground you. And one of my favorite tools I'm going to share right now is sound therapy. It isn't just soothing, it's healing. I've used crystal bowls, tuning forks, chimes, and even water to bring my body back into harmony. The vibrations from the sound tools we use calm our nervous system, it balances our energy, and it opens up space for real, deep, and lasting healing. I want you to remember that you are not your stress. You are not your symptoms. You are powerful, and you deserve to have a life that is joyful and calm, and that you can thrive despite the stresses and chaoses of normal living.
There you go. That is our show for today. Go on out and have an awesome and amazing Wednesday. And remember, we are getting set for the official Atlantic hurricane season. Well, we already started to see some movement within the Atlantic basin. So make sure that you continue to be vigilant, stay alert, and continue to keep yourself informed of what is going to be happening in this hurricane season as well. Of course, once we get the information, we're going to be sharing with you here as well. But today, go on out, be good to yourself, and then, of course, you can be good to others. Have a lovely Wednesday.